It's time for Q&A in the Kitchen. That's a podcast and YouTube series where tattoo artist and piercer answer some of the more common questions that those that collect tattoos and piercings may have. Brought to you in part by Skin Kitchen Tattoo, the Axiom Body Piercing Studio. Today we have the usual crew, the Motley crew, the Do crew.
What's up?
Over the way to my right is Jimmy St. John, tattoo artist at the Skin Kitchen. Right next to me is Jack Lowe.
It's just Jack, not Jack.
Jack. Jack.
Just Jack.
Jack.
Or
yeah.
Hey man.
Hey man.
Or Yo dude.
Hey Jack. Where are you going with that? Yeah. Okay.
Stick away. Just stay away from the hijack, especially when you're close to an airport.
Hijacking.
People are just on edge lately. It's weird.
Yeah. You like changing a tire, Jack?
Is that a statement?
That was pretty. That was about as dry as we can get today. Yeah. This must have gotten unplugged because it reset all the sound effects on where they're at. Anyway, so he owns the Skin Kitchen. He's also a tattoo artist there, of course. I'm DaVo. I do body piercing, and I own Axiom Body Piercing. And then over here to my left is Brent Starr, tattoo artist at the Skin Kitchen, and our lovely guest star, Capone.
Yeah, Capone's feeling a little bit under the weather, so he's hanging out with his peeps today.
While his brother sits at home and the whole time.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a whiny butt.
He is.
Waylon.
Especially if there's a coon in
Didn't
the
know he was
tray.
going to be like that when you named him that, did
Right.
you there, Jesse?
Yep. Andy Whalen because of Wales.
So what we're going to talk about today is where is the most painful place?
Where does it hurt?
Where does it hurt?
Yeah.
To get tattooed, and we'll go through some piercing stuff, but that's kind of another thing. But where is the most painful places to get tattooed?
You know, and it's funny, we've really not covered this, and it's like one of the top few questions we get. Like, does it hurt there? Where does it hurt the worst, right? So I figured we'd just kind of go through the anatomy from the toes up, kind of.
Okay.
Toe up.
And talk about the pros and cons, kind of each of those spots and what the feedback we get from people is, because really that's the best judgment you got. You know, at the end of the day, everybody handles pain differently. You know, they have a different scale, or their body is set up to not, alert them as fanatically as some others. So, but this kind of give people an overall idea.
And one thing I always like to bring up whenever I have a client ask me about tattoos and how much they hurt is, a lot of it comes down to being in possibly a stressful position or a position of stress, like on your back, or you have to stay
uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable
for a long period of time.
Yep.
And to me, that's always been the worst part about getting tattooed. So the pain thing, some parts are like, but
well, and so for some people, just the fact that they're sitting, doing nothing, you're not producing, not moving forward in any kind of way, they're just not used to sitting. It's like, dude, I work, and then I sleep, and then I get up and I just do. So just the fact that they're sitting there twiddling their thumbs more or less
makes it hard.
is hard for some of the people.
Nobody sits on the dock of the bay.
Yeah, everybody kind of has their own comfortability
Yeah.
sitting there, and pain and impatience and, health issues or a bad back or whatever, kind of stacks on top of that.
So let's start with the bottom of the feet.
Bottom of the feet?
You can't tattoo the bottom of your feet because it replenishes so much, like the bottom of the hands.
I knew if I said that, nobody would.
Well, but that's something good to talk about, because hands and stuff, are getting more popular. But yeah, the deal is, what I usually look at or tell people is where you can see pores. Where you have pores, the skin is robust and it heals in a way and it tattoos in a way that it usually has a really good chance of sticking. But your palms of your hands and the bottoms of your feet, that's a different type of skin, like your elbows. It has to have different properties so it can provide you, good use. So the bottom of your feet is a way thicker skin, and the nice layer where we need to put that ink is a lot harder to get to. So you have to put a lot of energy into getting through that outer layer, and then to get through that outer layer, you have to have so much power that typically you'll blow right through the sweet spot. And if you're too careful, then you're going to peck away and beat up at that outer layer trying to get to that inner layer easy, to where not only are you chewing that up, but that layer isn't robust and isn't permanent enough to hold anything. Yeah. So it's this real... the sweet spot is so tiny that typically what people will do is they'll blast it in and kind of blow it out, and at least it stayed.
What I usually do, like when I tattoo the palms and stuff from that young lady, and I've done a few, I stipple it.
Yeah.
And that's like, when you run the needles way out and you're going through all that extra skin that's, replenishing all the time, that dead layer, and you're actually dotting. It's just a bunch of dots. So you're not doing you're not doing portraits. You're not doing super detailed, fine line stuff. But like,
more primitive
if you want
stuff.
to do, if you want to do like negative space, like Jesse James's hand pay up sucker with the dollar bill sign, or the little the mountain scene I did on the young lady with the campfire and stuff. Pretty rudimentary, simple designs you can do, but like I said, you have to stipple it, and it hurts. Yeah, you're going in there deep and kind of
That's the way my elbow.
And when you're stippling it, what you're doing is it's called a controlled blowout.
Yep.
So it's easier to build lines and areas and shapes and values, kind of going, kind of making these little blowouts and building instead of doing this one big fat blobby kind of thing.
Plus, it would affect it because the pad, the tissue there is a lot thicker.
Yeah.
So the reflection, actually seeing it through that outer layer is going to be very difficult anyway.
Yep. That's another thing.
That's why a lot of times when they heal up, even when they're done well, they don't look like they're really there anymore.
Yeah, all the variation. It's like you've got like 50 elbow or ditches in your hand, the ditch, the inner elbow is a pretty tough spot sometimes because it's so active, and that skin there is kind of a rubbery, thin right here, but then thicker right here, but then there's a thinner spot, but then a thicker spot. I mean, all packed in as you're trying to keep this nice, consistent line.
I got that picture of those palms. Like I said, if you want to attach it to this, so people can take a look at it.
Try to remember to put it in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so pain-wise, do you think it's a lot more, a lot less?
Yeah, it hurts because you're doing a controlled blowout. You're going way deep. And your hands, think about it. Everything you touch, you feel because they're your hands. That's how they work.
And that's what's going to determine how bad it is. Really, it's, how many nerves, how many guys do you have standing there waiting to tell the brain something's going on?
Right.
Some places you really don't have that many guys hanging out, but some places that are critical, like around your heart and your lungs,
your feet or your palms, your hands.
The bottom of your feet. It's like they have to be sensitive to. They're sensitive to certain stimuli and almost dead to other stimuli.
Right.
And where does tattooing land in that?
But when I stipple that stuff, I'm going directly down to where those nerve endings are staying at, and I'm tingling every one.
How
of
you
them.
doing?
One spot.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, wake up. Hi, how are you? That hurts, doesn't it? Yep. Okay. Hi, I'm going to see your friend.
And because the bottom of the feet is super unpopular, I've probably only done it maybe once or twice, like on the bottom of the toe or whatever. My experience is it's really just not worth it unless it's for a gag and that it's probably going to look like crap. But really, it's nowhere to put a lot of thought into covering with some beautiful piece of art.
And I can't imagine the healing is a lot of fun either.
That's horrible.
Well, and that's that. And on top of all that, you have to use the bottoms of your feet and the palms of your hands all the time.
Yep.
So unless you can just kind of sit and you've got a servant for a week or two, which some people kind of are in that situation.
Yeah.
But it's very few.
My client got both of her palms done the same sitting, and I was like, I tried to talk her out of it. I was like, dude, it's bad enough to do one and heal it and all that stuff, but you sure you want to do both of them? Because when you leave here, you got to grab your keys. You got to drive home. You got to change your gears and your stick shift. You got to, all this stuff. You got to touch your door handles. Oh, no, it'll be fine. And I did them. And she came back in when we touched them up, and she was like, dude, that was horrible.
Yeah,
I'm like,
torture.
I told you, you got to touch everything from here to home to do things.
Do you remember what she did for a living?
I do not. I think she's a teacher. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no matter what she would have done, it would have been rough.
Yeah.
I just remember
getting here and going home is awful.
The one person I remember coming in years and years and years, it might have been before we were even working together. They wanted the bottom of their feet done so nobody knew they were tattooed. That was basically what it was come down to.
My advice, if you don't want nobody to know you're tattooed, don't get tattooed.
Yeah, so you're secretive.
Yeah, it was some kind of frat thing.
It's a secret.
I've had the palm of my hand tattooed 5 or 6 times, and it keeps coming out.
Yeah, it's really a bad idea. A lot of people don't do it.
So let's move on to, I guess, the toes.
Top of the feet and the toes.
The top of the feet and the toes are very painful in my experience. Like I've tattooed my own toe and top of my foot, and I thought it was horrible. I find the further away from the appendages you go, like on your hands, the lower knuckles are more stingy than the upper knuckles.
Well, we're not talking about knuckles.
Well, same thing on the toes. They're your extensions of your feet. Like going down to your toes, it hurts.
Yeah, but
Moving
you're
up on your
ruining
feet, it's
the
not
whole
quite as
progression
bad.
of the body. You're getting ahead of it.
Okay, well the toes suck. And the top of the
into
feet,
the future.
the top of the feet are similar to the hands.
Yeah.
They're nothing but tissue and ligament and bone.
We can
And
do it from
hurts.
the furthest from the heart. So we'll say that the hands fall under this too. Then
Okay, we can work
yeah.
towards.
Why don't we do
Yeah,
that?
it's appendages.
Appendages.
Yeah, it's appendages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
So I would assume, just like every other part of the body, the more sensitive or ticklish areas are.
Yeah,
gonna
if
be
it feels
more
good to
uncomfortable.
touch, it hurts to like hell to tattoo.
Like the inside.
it's ticklish-
arches.
Well, you don't want to tattoo the arch of the foot because you're still in that
Well, I'm
skin
talking
that's
like
thick.
the area, even the area above it.
The
But
arch.
like I said, it bends and moves so much,
Yeah.
it usually doesn't stick very well. You want to stay to the top of the foot, just like on your hands. You want to stay on the top of your hands. Once you get on the side of the blades of the hands, you're getting into that skin that's on the palm. It's starting
Okay.
to change over. And
where you
it's
have
not gonna stay.
hair cuticles, where you
Yeah.
have hair,
Okay.
you can look at your hand and see
Yep.
where your hair stops, and it kind of the
Right.
skin type changes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. If
Yep.
you can grow hair there, it
You can
usually
tattoo
will
it.
tattoo relatively well.
Doesn't mean it's going to feel good.
So your inner ear, where you grow no hair, it's
Yeah.
tricky.
Mm-hmm.
There's that layer is really hard to find. Again, it falls out or it blows out more than likely. It's a
I'm talking about
tough.
the scopula, the flat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't grow hair there. So that's kind of
conch.
kind of the rule. Like if you don't grow hair there, you're kind of
yeah.
taking your chances. Eyelids,
Unless it's the top of your head.
stuff like that. Lips, inside your mouth. That's kind of a warning. First of all, if you're not growing hair there or can't, typically don't grow hair in that place, then
That's probably not a good tattoo area.
Yeah.
right.
Like
So,
the
like-
inside of your mouth heals so fast. Like anything you do, it's going to force it out. Like the lip tattoos and stuff. You're lucky if it
Yeah,
lasts
I
a week
know.
or two. Like it's just
I don't know how many people I know.
it's going to fall out. Man.
Punk.
Yeah.
But on occasion, you got the 1 out of 10 that I tattooed like dick in my lip and it never went away. Well, you're the guy that it's done.
Yeah.
Good job.
And now you have a dick
One
in your
thing
lip.
Yep.
another kind of overall gauge to use is a lot of people you'll see pinching themselves. It doesn't. They'll be how
Has
how
nothing to do
how
with it.
if it's ticklish, it's probably going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That if something's ticklish, that means that the nerves there are very heightened. They're really overreactive. So where most people ticklish,
Your ribs and stuff.
So that is another kind of blanket statement.
Yeah.
Not true for everyone. Like, not overall, like the hair thing. You can get certain things to work in certain circumstances. But overall, to kind of answer
general,
or knock out some questions, like overall, if it tickles, it's probably means it's more sensitive. You have more nerve endings concentrated in that area because usually it's a danger spot for your body. It wants to know. It wants you to know something's going on there. So it's got a lot of nerves going on there. So anyway,
Something's importance there.
yeah, that's what. Yeah, so they pack a bunch of nerves. Like, hey, man, that's bad. That's close to we could die. That usually is going to be more exquisite. And
So top of the feet, not fun.
it can go back and forth though.
Some people don't think it's bad, but like I said, in general, it's like a blanket
Yeah.
statement, like he's saying. It's
Okay.
pretty rough.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
overall, I guess is kind of how we'll look at this. Like compared to the rest of everything else, how bad is it?
Look-
It's towards the more painful than
Okay.
pleasurable.
Okay,
side.
I always consider like the outside of the mid bicep probably one of the most comfortable places to get
Yes.
tattooed.
Mm-hmm.
Outside
So
of the
that-
forearm and
So
stuff.
gauged
yeah.
on that, we'll say it's
Yeah.
that's like a 2, and then this would be more closer to a 6 or an 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the
8.
more painful than
Okay.
pleasurable side.
Where
Yeah,
I got a real eye awakener is when I started tattooing my legs.
Uh-huh.
My shins and like my knee up to my
Which would
knees
be
and
the
stuff
next thing.
weren't to me they weren't
no,
anything.
I didn't think it was that
And I
bad
thought
at
the back
all.
of the calf would be like the arm, like nothing.
You would think.
Wrong.
opposite.
The back of the calf was horrendous. It's so
Yeah.
friggin' sensitive. Dude, it was pins and needles. Like I got started tattooing the stuff on the back of my calves and I was like, what are you doing back
Yeah.
there? Like, oh my God.
It's one of the worst spots.
It's horrible.
I've been tattooed.
Me too.
It's weird.
Because
It's awful.
the front panel of the leg, the only part like the shins, it
Yeah,
feels
on the
weird.
bones, but it doesn't hurt as bad.
The only time it would get sensitive is when you get right down to that ankle
Yeah, the bend.
area, right
Yeah,
the
where
bend
the
where your
bend
foot
is,
is,
right
yeah.
where that big tendon.
That's where you
will have.
transition into that foot.
Yep.
That treble and high end just turn up and it stings
It
and
gets bad
burns.
there all the way down.
Like you skin, like
Yeah.
if anybody remembers skinning your knees as a kid because you'd trip and you'd fall
Yeah.
right on your knees all the time. and that burning kind of stinging, that's, it just turns up when you get to those bendy spots. It's like inside of the arm is similar to that,
So you were saying, the back is the worst.
The back of the calf is awful.
What did you think, Brent? Did you have your calves done?
I thought, the inside back area of the calf, that was
the back
more
meat
tender.
right here.
Yeah.
It's the worst spot below your knee, in my opinion. I don't have my feet done, but
and I don't have anything on my shins. Maybe a little bit like kind of near the knee, but the front part. Surprisingly,
less.
It was just like way easier.
Right.
But then I thought about all the things that I've smashed into with my shins.
Your shin is like,
it's built to be tough. It's like the outside of your arm. It gets sun and
if you feel the outside of my shin, it's just one.
Well, in Muay Thai and striking, karate type things, they will literally kick these bamboo things to
toughen them up,
desensitize their shins, and literally they're numb on their shins because they just tell their body over and over again, hey, get used to it. Nothing's, we're still walking, everything's still fine, and pretty soon those nerves are like, there's no point. It's there it is again.
You bang into stuff, your jeans wear on it and rub all the time, and
a lot of stimuli, so it's kind of been like, we're used to the tremors. We live in California, it's a good little tremor. Hey dude, we're in Omaha,
it's just a storm.
You're in Omaha though, and you get a little rumble. Hey, everybody knows. Everybody's yelling about it. It's kind of that same deal. But
so then outside, I did not find outside of the calf that bad at all.
No,
it's like,
it was about like a forearm maybe,
like a 3, 4,
3-4,
and a 10 scale.
Inside, I've never had done. And you guys are saying
it's not very fun.
That's probably a little bit more than the outside.
It's a little more intense, but
it's
not
like
much.
7. Maybe a little bit higher than.
And you're close to a 10 on the back.
And a 10 on the back.
Well, I guess.
And I'm guessing when you get way down to that ankle.
What, the Achilles tendon? Well, it's your Achilles tendon, dude. That's what you uses to walk. It sucks the tattoo.
But it's not as bad as, in my opinion, as that center mass meat on the right on the back of your calf.
The center of your calf is awful.
It's that your Achilles area is like an elbow, so it's a rubbery kind of tough, elasticy rubber skin. Area. So in that regard, it's kind of tough, and considering how aggressive you have to get there, it's not that bad, but a client wouldn't necessarily know that. Right. It's like, I'm really hitting you hard and having to slow down and pack right here because of this tight skin type, and it should, if this was in another area and I was doing that, it'd send you to a 9, but because that area is kind of rubbery and kind of a tough elasticy skin, it stays about the same for the client typically.
Okay.
If your artist knows how to
properly tattoo it.
Right. If they're tattooing properly and adjusting what they're doing, considering where they are, it should, it stays about the same.
Because I don't know, maybe it's just me and being around this. It seems like it's at least once every couple months somebody comes and goes, I want to get a snake wrapped around my leg and then have the tail go down to the top of my foot.
Sure.
And I'm always looking at them going, oh yeah, you just want to hit all those spots.
Right.
You?
Like, we'll just lay that right
you want
down.
to do the tour right there.
Similar to like your forearm. Like the outside of your forearm is used to getting sun hanging out the window.
We'll get that.
You rub up against everything. You touch stuff.
Where
it's like your shin.
You get a lot of stimuli. Nobody's really going to
forearm
report it.
It's a little more touchy.
So
just
speaking
like the back
of that,
leg.
because one of my least favorite spots was the armpit. We'll get to that later. Knee pits.
Behind the kneecap? That's awful.
Kneecap.
That's rough.
Jack. He just got his done not long ago.
Yeah, that was one of my last tattoos I got, and
it wasn't fun.
It was uncomfortable, man. It was it wasn't one of those tattoos that just, it starts hurting after a while and it gets sore and it's just raw.
I'll do that.
This is one of those that hurt real bad from the get-go. And then after it's going a while, you're kind of like, okay, I can probably manage that.
It's not getting any better.
And then it just substantially gets worse the whole time after. It's really, it was uncomfortable and bad. But again, always remember we're talking tattoo pain.
Yeah.
It's still just a tattoo.
It's manageable.
But as far as tattoos go, that sucked.
A strenuous area.
That sucked.
On the 10 scale, what would you put that?
It was, and overall, I'd put it 7.5, 8.
Okay.
You know,
So the rest of us have been like a 9 or a 10.
So I like the analogy that it starts out and you go, this is tolerable,
You
and
do
then it
tattoo
gets much
yourself.
worse.
yeah, it you know, like an arm. You get
Sounds like some of the relationships I've had. It's like, I
Yeah.
can deal with this, and then
Right.
that's getting worse.
well, with some
Yeah.
places, it's an uncomfortable, bearable pain. It's like
Yeah.
sitting there while you could still watch TV and have a conversation.
Right.
Where the back of my leg once it got to a point to where just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just leave me alone.
I'm not. It's taking all my energy to tolerate this.
To not stand.
I don't
up
have
and
any
tell you to go
excess.
screw yourself.
Yeah. So that in my mind, that once you start getting into that, that's like 8, 9 area. You know,
So
you're just
basically-
having to sit there and
There is no happy place to go to in your mind.
To call out your safe word and go, we're done. That's it.
yeah.
Pineapple.
Yeah. So yeah, I did not like it at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move up to, I guess,
Knees?
we'll start on the
thighs?
knees. Yes,
Oh, yeah,
we
knees.
definitely have to do knees.
Yeah, that's and that's more popular than I would think. Like who, in my mind, I'm thinking who would go, oh, I want it on my knee, like.
Well, us weirdos, but other than us, I don't know about.
Well, no, I thought that's ridiculous, but it's skin there, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
tattoo
gotta
it. I
cover
mean,
it.
it doesn't matter if it hurts. I don't get them because they don't hurt.
Right. I want stuff cool. Looks cool. Like I want a tiger head on one.
It's usually
knee,
a
maybe
head
skull
or a
on the other one
face
something
that-
like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually a head or a face or a mask that most people.
I got a gypsy head.
Yeah, something kind of caps that knee. I'd give it a 4.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
think
the knee
it was
3 to
bad.
4.
Bad.
Huh.
No, knee
It's
wasn't bad.
and again, you're on your knees, you're banging your knees. It's that
Yep, they're
rubbery
used to
kind of
it. Yeah, that's
elbowy, rubbery, stretchy
Yeah,
skin.
very stretchy. Yeah.
So in my opinion, as the artist, it feels like you're being brutal.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to be more
Gotta be
aggressive
rougher.
to deal with that rubberyish kind of doesn't really care about you skin. But but on the receiving end, you're like it's
Not that
it's
bad.
a knee.
Yeah.
I've been
would-
banging these and
Yeah.
walking on them. So they're kind of desensitized in that manner.
Yeah.
And this is maybe something we never really, well, we kind of have, but I'm guessing that they tend to have tattooing it. Occasionally, you're going to come across a scar that you were unaware that.
Oh,
was there.
everybody's got
Yeah.
scarred up
And
knees.
it's a very chewed up area on some people. So yeah,
But it really, for being a knee, they heal amazingly well.
Yes, they do.
because
Better than an elbow, in my opinion. Elbows seem to be more rubbery and wishy-washy,
Right.
and you just can't get a handle on it. Where a knee, I don't know if it's because the skin's just a little tighter and wider, and you can get a better
It
purchase
seems to
on
be a
it.
little thicker skin there too.
Yeah,
in
it's
my
just
opinion.
more. It's more tolerant. It tolerates tattooing way better
It does.
than an elbow,
Okay.
and it blows me away. Like I did my knee within the last couple years,
Yep.
and I thought, well, it'll be one of those things that's never going to be perfect, but I'll get it. It's just going to be getting it to the point where I can live with it. Man, the thing,
solid as
it's
hell.
some of the blackest. I mean, it's really nuts. So
I
I'm
guess
actually
because it's used to being, you'd fall on your knees way more than you fall on your elbows. Like
That-
they
and-
both take a beating, but your knees really catch it.
True.
yeah, and the pain.
Yeah.
So you can, you have to be, aggressive. But if you are and get it done, man, it
Nothing
heals great.
good.
Okay, so let's move on to the knee pit. And
Well, we did the behind the knee. We
Yeah.
were talking
We
about
did?
that earlier. Yeah, we
Okay.
talked about.
Yeah.
we talked about it a little bit, but
Well, we're talking about jacks and stuff. And the
yeah, I'm
pain
guessing
tolerance.
that. Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Now you're up to the thighs, Dave. Keep
Outer
up.
thigh.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's,
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
So thighs. Do you have anything on your thighs?
Yeah, I got a little bit. Mostly, I think on the side, just a tiny little tattoo. I didn't think it was too bad.
Yeah.
On the outside of the thigh, I don't have anything
Not
on the
horrible.
inside.
It's not fun, but it's not horrible.
yeah.
I'd give like the outside of the thigh like probably a 6, 5,
Yeah,
6.
maybe 5. Yeah.
and it's a very popular area to get tattooed.
Yeah,
on
especially for
by
ladies and stuff.
It's a very aesthetic spot.
it flows well.
that
There's a
top
lot
muscle.
of room there.
And it's a
creates
large
a-
piece of skin. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I had another artist tell me this, and it makes a lot of sense to me. If you cut from the bottom of your butt to the top of the back of your knee, and around your knee and around your hip, and pull that skin off and hold it up, it's about a back piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a thigh is a lot like a back,
Yep.
in where there's such a big area that over here it hurts like hell, but over here,
not so
tattoo me all day, it's a joke. So the thighs are kind of tricky like that. There's these little crooks and areas that everything is fine.
Yeah, it's weird like that.
Seems like.
It's very weird like that because you'll be going on the side and it's a 5.
Yeah.
And then you get closer to like the butt cheek where there's a lot of
Up
nerve
under,
endings and like, good God, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We're back down on the calf again. Like, oh my God, that's awful.
There's a lot of different terrain
You shoot
in
up
there.
to like a 9.
You know, so top of the thigh though is probably kind of the most
not terrible.
top to let outside.
Outside top.
Is probably the most tolerable with a couple zingers in there depending on what you're doing. As it moves around to the inside, it'll probably increase a couple clicks, and then the higher you go, it increases.
And we're starting to see a trend that stuff you can't see normally hurts more.
Oh well, yeah,
and that's a part I think for
it's less
protection
exposed.
for prey.
It doesn't.
Because you don't know. You need to know more about people attacking you from behind than you do in forward.
Well, your nerve endings tend to like graduate to there because they migrate to those areas.
Well, yeah. Look at it as your body's a castle, and you have defenders.
Yeah.
Where are you going to put them? The most vulnerable spots, the spots that don't have a lot of protection, that are kind of tender.
Yeah, your clothes don't wear on it much.
So
you don't see any sunlight there.
Yeah,
like
so
nobody touches
inside of the thighs, back of the thighs, of course, are going to increase pain.
Yep.
Yeah, but the back of the thigh overall though
isn't horrible.
It's only maybe a little worse than the outer.
Yeah, until you get up to the butt.
It's it's a tattoo, but it's probably like a 5 to 6 ish. Where the top of your thigh, in my opinion, can be 3 to 5.
Like a 3, yeah.
Depending, but
the
and then side pieces kind of between.
I'm kind of counting this outer third, as a spot, and then you've got kind of this inner third, and then you've got the that slice that's kind of inner but bottom.
That
That's
inner
the
side,
high
though,
one,
man. That
really.
sucks.
As you get up
awful.
towards as it curves around towards your inner buttocks to the under kind of spot right there.
The genitals are.
There's
rough.
a lot of nerves.
It's rough.
Have somebody stick their finger around in that area and see if it tickles.
Pinch it there and see if it hurts.
It feels awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the buttocks.
It's painful.
Okay.
If anybody just grazes by you in a bar and like brushes your butt, you feel it. You're turning around like, who touched my ass? And you know what I mean?
Everybody's had a
That's
shot.
because all those nerve endings are there. Yeah.
Everybody's had a shot in their butt.
It hurts.
It's like one of the. They put them there because it's intermuscular and all that, and it's easy because it's just one big muscle.
It's not located close to a vein, so if they're putting an insert.
It's a great place to give people shots that don't have that aren't big and muscly, that you can just pick one and stick it in there. So I always thought, because it's less painful. It's just in your butt. No.
They don't do anything because it's less painful. They do it because of medical reasons.
Their butt is. It hurts when it comes to tattoos, man. I don't know why. You think it would be somewhat desensitized, but then, like I said, some areas are desensitized to certain types of pain.
You'd think as many whippings as I got growing up, it wouldn't hurt.
Right.
Well, there's a reason why they're done there. It's basically it's hard to break a bone there. It's hard to do any.
There's less damage.
It's a meaty spot.
At the same time, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it's a flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound.
You whack somebody in the side of the elbow and catch them on that spot that barely has skin covering it, and with a board, ding! I mean, that could change your life. You're never playing tennis again. But you use the same force on a kid or anybody's butt. Then it's it stings.
It'll heal.
But we're playing in that outer zone, and for whatever reason, butts and tattoos, it's a rough spot, man.
Same thing for the lower area around the front, like
bikini area.
We might as well get to because somebody's going to ask about genital.
Of course.
Yeah, it's going to be sensitive.
Yes,
very. On men, it's just like
awful.
piercing it. It's going to want to shrink. It's terrible tissue to tattoo.
Yep.
Does your cock have hair growing out of it? No.
No.
If you're going to tattoo a dick, you're going to have to take it. When I had to tattoo them, usually we used Snapple bottles because they were glass back then. They were hard, so they didn't crumple up like a plastic bottle. You take a bottle and you put on your gloves and you put their dick on it and you roll it around.
Gloves, so you're not gay.
Yeah, because you don't touch a dick.
Well, you don't. You guys.
I don't want to touch a vagina, but that's not mine either. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to touch none of their junk.
Regardless of what part of it is, they usually have gloves on.
You take the penis and put it on, and then you roll the bottle over, so he takes and stretches it out, and now it's stretched out, and it's against a tight, flat, a hard surface like the bottle, and you hold it onto there, and you tattoo onto the shaft like that, and that's the best way that I've found to do it. But it's not fun.
Pencils.
It's not fun for you at all. Well, a pencil's so small. If you got a bottle and you wrap, you can take a quarter.
Depending on the client and
you got a
where you
pencil
live
dick,
in the
I guess.
world.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
But a pencil's such a small area of field to use once you
I can't think
it probably
of anything
applies for some people.
Unless you're using like one of them thick pencils from kindergarten.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where pencil dick came from.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Like I say, I always use bottles or whatnot. So
I know this from piercing it, the scrotum, it would be just a total nightmare.
Yeah.
Even though hair grows in it.
Yeah.
Well, again, does your body, is that important? Does it need to be protected a bunch? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's in a head away area.
And it's an area that contracts and expands more than any other part of your body on a regular basis. And it would be just a nightmare to try to do any
try to get it to stretch to a point where it can be
shape or form.
I've had some artists that work for me that did we had a kid one time at one of the shops I worked at. We had a bunch of military coming in. And this dude said something about, I'm going to do, a fork and a knife and a fork on my geese. And
on the taint.
And one of the kids was like, "Oh, that's so funny. I'd do that for free." I'm like, "Okay." And the guy was like, "Yeah, I want it then." And like he was like, "Oh, but," I'm like, "No backsies, man. You're the one that opened your mouth and said you'd do it for free. So now you get to do it." So he had that guy on a table, with his legs spread up, and like he's down in there trying to tattoo, and he was just like, "This is awful." I'm like, "Next time you'll think before you open your damn mouth."
Yeah.
It reminds me of all those people that go like, "Your job must be so cool."
Nope.
It must be so cool.
That one instance was awful.
I'm like, unattractive chicks have boobs too, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
So
yeah.
That's the end of part 1. Part 2 will be coming out on hopefully July 3rd, right before the fabulous holiday. If you like this, you found it informative, you found it useful, please give us a thumbs up. It lets us know that you liked it, and of course share, because sharing means that you care. If you'd like to hear more of this or see more of these, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're notified every single time we post something, or subscribe where you are listening. We're going to keep these coming. The new episodes come out about every 2 weeks. If you like merch, you like swag, you like t-shirts, check out our merch store. A link is in the description. Till next time, here's hoping all your tattoos and piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, we all hope to see you for your tattooing and body piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. We'll see you next time.